What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Tsunami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. As you know, probably, hopefully, the Janemba EZA is dropping tomorrow. As of me recording this, it's about a day and a half away. But by the time you see this, it's probably going to be about a day away. So I wanted to do a team building guide slash preview video, breaking down the event and what sort of teams you might want to consider bringing. So let's take a look at the event itself. This, of course, is a different Janemba EZA event. So this is not the same one as we had before, the one that released in 2019. This is for the Int Janemba. This one is for the STR Janemba, and this one is releasing separately. I guess this is going to be a thing now. This is going to be the new norm because there's a lot of EZAs that involve units that have already had their Extreme Z battles, so they're going to have to start doubling up or doing separate ones. Like, for example, I think the Gogeta is one because the Int one just dropped, and like, what, 2 years ago? One of the early EZAs, yeah, not early, but it's been a while. The Gogeta STR one dropped in 2019. So they're starting to do this a little bit more and more. So keep that in mind when you're looking at an EZA. If you're thinking it's going to be the same one, it's not. It's going to be different, which is only a good thing, which is only good news because that means you're getting stones. So the weakness, again, is going to be fusion. There's no difference here. And for fusions, since he's an STR, you're going to want to resort to AGLs primarily. Over the rounds, you're going to be noticing that he gains an additional damage reduction against STR, Tech, Physical, and all evil units. So don't bring those if you want to do more damage. The problem is that Fusion's AGL side is somewhat limiting. Somewhat. So if you take a look here, of all of the Fusion categories, or of all the types in Fusion, the AGL one is probably the least appealing, just from sheer volume. The physical one is a little bit lacking too, but you're not going to want to use physical on a STR event, so it's a clear choice not to use that. But of all the options, AGL seems a little weak, so this might be a little tough for some of you who may not necessarily have all the units. Obviously, if you're a veteran player, this is going to be, a lot easier for you. But I'm trying to cover the broader audience as well. So if you don't have AGL, try to resort to Int. There's a decent amount of Int units, especially with the recent EZA for the Gogeta, one of the better fusions now in the game. The free-to-play Ghost Tanks, of course, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and the Dokkan Fest Go Tanks. I should know, I've pulled like 20,000 of this guy in recent banner summons. So that's the situation. Now let's take a look at some potential team builds that you could choose from. So I'm showing you my game. These are the units that are in the fusion category. And as you can see, AGL, there's not too many. So if I were to just do fusions, AGL, I would throw all of these on. And I totally could. But I don't know why. I feel like mixing it up a little bit. First of all, I don't want Bullpen in there. She's not that great. And I don't really know if I want to put orbs in her just to do this EZA. I feel like I can be fine without it. So I'm going to take her out. You could bring the Heroes Gotenks. I'm choosing not to just because if you run him, I was actually thinking of running the Gotenks with the Gohanks. They work really well together, but the problem is that you can't nerf the enemy's attack or defense after a certain point, making their passives kind of useless. I mean, not useless, but just it's less effective. So I kind of wanted to go in a more offensive-oriented team, so I decided to first start off with the Gogeta, and then bring the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and of course the Super Gogeta, the newest EZA. Bring the Ghost Tanks, because the Ghost Tanks produces Int Orbs, so that will work very well with the Gogeta's EZA, because the more orbs he picks up, if you pick up 3 or more, I believe, you guarantee a critical hit. Or no, you have a high chance of performing a critical hit, and that would be very nice. Plus, he's effective against everybody, so you could totally bring this guy regardless. So just bring the Gogeta. And then I guess, nah, I don't want to bring him. I'll bring the LR, and I don't know, I kind of feel like bringing this guy. He's a nuke of sorts, so I'll maybe bring the AGL Gotenks, Super Saiyan Gotenks. So yeah, if you want to bring in your Gotenks, adult Gotenks in the bullpen, go ahead. But this is basically the team that I am putting together, and I'm sticking to it. So that's going to be my pay-to-play. Now, for free-to-play, oof, free-to-play is not looking good at all. This is not the first time we've had this sort of a situation for free-to-play when it comes to EZAs. Now, as you guys know, I love doing events free-to-play, fully free-to-play. Like I always say, following the J Fantas school of free-to-play, no summonable units except for World Tournament. So, based on this, it's probably not going to go too well, right? So I was trying to consider my options here. do I go with the AGL route or do I stick with fusions? Now, going back to the Dokkan Wiki, if you stick with fusions, you will do more damage, and you will also gain damage reduction. So, characters from the fusion category take less damage, mitigate Super Janemba's damage reduction, and have increased damage. However, they won't be able to bypass Super Janemba's damage reduction against certain types. So, what you could do as a free-to-play is bring units on the fusion category that may not necessarily be in the right typing, but they can still somewhat handle an attack. Whereas if you were to bring, let's say, movie heroes, that was the idea that I was thinking about. If I went in the movie heroes direction, maybe I could do here, movie heroes and fusions, partial match. The idea was to run AGL Code Goku and then a couple of these AGL units, so that if I ran the Dokkan Fest Gogeta Blue, the AGL Gogeta Blue, because he's also movie heroes lead, this would work. Now, typing-wise, this works fine, but because they're not in fusion, it's probably not going to end well. So, for that free-to-play challenge, it's probably better for me to not go in this route and just stick to fusion. So that's why this is the team that I put together. So this is the squad. So I'll be leading the way with the Ghost Tanks. He's probably your best bet anyway. Greatly raising attack and defense, causing supreme damage. He's kind of a nuke, and he can heal, which is good. Helps with longevity. This is the free-to-play Int Gotenks, got a TUR. He's from the Goku and Friends story event. I think that's out right now. If it's not, it's going to be coming out, I think, along with this EZA. So by the time this EZA drops, you will be able to go back into the story event and farm this guy out if you need to, because he is a TUR free-to-play. And as you notice, there's a blank spot here. The reason why there's a blank spot is because I have yet to farm out probably the MVP of this entire event for free-to-play, and maybe even otherwise if you just don't play a lot of Dokkan or are new to the game. So this story event right here, the Fusion Reborn story event, is where you can recruit a free-to-play Veku, so basically a failed Gogeta. And this guy he has the ability to do some decent damage. So this is him at the TUR level. He's a fusion-type sub-lead in the free-to-play standard, so he's not very good as a lead. But high chance to massively raise attack for one turn, and then cause supreme damage to the enemy. Attack plus 150, defense plus 50%, attack minus 10% with each turn passed, no more than 50%. Medium chance of performing a critical hit when performing a super attack. Defense and chance of evading enemy's attack plus 10% with each attack received up to 50. So in a long-term fight, it sort of evens out, he kind of plateaus, but the first few swings are what count. And since he's got a medium chance to crit anyway, you would obviously want to go for more additional, thus giving you a chance at multiple attacks, which then results in chances for multiple crits, and the possibility of massively raising attack twice in one sequence to do some pretty decent damage. So free-to-play is going to be leaning hard on this unit. I have to farm this guy out, so what's probably going to happen is I'm going to start a stream maybe an hour or two early before the Janemba EZA drops, and then I'll farm this guy out, get him rainbowed, ready to go, and then I will throw him onto the team when that EZA takes place. So if you guys have not farmed this guy out, make sure to do so. Plus, he's just funny. Also, I think he's got like one of the funniest super attacks in the game, so make sure to farm this guy out. Now, let's take a look at what this unit does. What are we getting ourselves into? With this event, the Janemba will go from this to this. So he was a key plus 3, 120% lead for Extreme STR. Caused immense damage. He guarded against all attacks. Medium chances to dodge. Basically typical Janemba stuff. But really not much more to it, right? Now, with his EZA, you could argue he's better than the Int one. And I think we had a guest star on the channel on the previous video who said something similar. So this guy is now a 130% lead, key plus 3 for STR, Extreme STR. He's also a sub-lead for Super. Causes immense damage, massively lowers defense. Attack and defense plus 100%, and guards all attacks. That's pretty much the same, except his passive is more robust than the Int counterpart. Medium chance of evading enemy's attack, okay. Chance of evading enemy's attack plus 10% within the same turn with each attack evaded. So I don't think we've ever seen this before. This is basically where you dodge one attack, the likelihood that you dodge the next one have just gone up by 10%. It's not a guarantee, but it's gone up. Your medium chance to dodge is your baseline, so 30%. So if that 30% procs, then another calculation will take place, and that calculation will be 40%. Or not 40%. It's not a one-to-one calculation. It would be 10% more of the 30% to then give you an extra chance to dodge. And so on and so on. So if you have like 5 or 6 attacks coming in Janemba increases his chances to dodge with each subsequent attack if the first one actually goes through. If it doesn't go through, he still maintains a 30% chance to dodge regardless. And if he doesn't dodge, well, he can guard all attacks anyway. So he's a pretty decent defensive unit. I don't know if I like this too much. This doesn't seem... I mean, it's unique for sure, but it just doesn't seem very compelling for me. Like, I would still rather use the int one. This guy doesn't seem as good. But I could be totally wrong. I could be totally, completely wrong. I'm a global player. I have not played with this unit on JP. I don't even play a bunch of JP, so... yeah, that's what we're getting into, folks. So this is going to be dropping in 2 days. 1 day. 2 days. 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you have an idea now how to put together a team. If you're trying to do the free-to-play challenge, good luck. If you do not have enough fusion units, consider trying to maybe run some AGL guys. Consider maybe farming out that free-to-play. Actually, wait, does this guy... no, Veku, yeah, of course his name isn't different. The same name update isn't a thing on global, so JP JP is in a much more favorable position. Running 2 Vekus on this would be great, because he has a decent chance to dodge at the as the TUR. How is his SSR? His SSR... yeah, he's still pretty decent. So, yeah. Sucks for global, but whatever. It'll still be fun. And if you guys want to join me on this endeavor, make sure to subscribe, have your notification bells turned to all, and join me for that stream that will be happening tomorrow. There I will also farm out this guy. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments. Are you excited for this Janemba EZA, or do you think that this unit is inferior to the int Janemba? Personally, right now, I feel like he is. But I'm saying that from a completely ignorant standpoint. I've never used the unit, so I have no idea. It just seems like that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.